Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Kyle, host of the Ace Ballers podcast, the podcast that you're listening to because the podcast I sometimes put up weekly, but not really often. And Kevin Zerwick over here.
Yes.
How you doing, Kevin?
Oh, good. And to be fair, we record weekly. It just doesn't always make it to the internet.
That is true. We do record weekly. It just doesn't always make it over. Yeah. Last week's episode is one of those lost episodes that might just show up at the end of the year, like some sort of collection or anything. You know what I'll actually do? I kind of want to do like sound bites at the end of the year, and like all of our best predictions or like the stupidest predictions we had or something
nice.
that. Like great prediction. Yeah, so that could be fun. Anyway, welcome into week 7. Week 6 was missing. This is the week 7 podcast. And, well, what do we have on the docket today?
Why don't you push the button? We'll find out.
Let's push the button. Oh, look, it's the same stuff as always. We have the weekly recap. Okay. We have the waiver wire, and we have the week 7 preview. But before we begin, let's start with a fun topic of discussion. One that we recorded last week.
Yes, we did.
But never made it to air. And we are now going to record it right now again, because we'll have more things to say on it. And that is the defensive scoring too high in our league? Now, what prompted this question was, of course, the back and forth between Tim and Braden.
Yeah, the Tim Braden discussion.
At 9 o'clock at night when I was like trying to sleep. But I mean, there was compelling arguments. Braden was more pro what we're doing with defense right now, and Tim was more anti what we're doing with defense right now. And I have to say, I mean, we did try to make defensive changes in the beginning of the year.
Yes.
But, you know, I wasn't able to put those in, or I forgot. I know I put them in that night, but I guess I didn't save them or something. I don't know what happened. But
that's probably what happened.
But we're right back to scoring. So do you think that there is a problem this year with the defensive scoring?
I do. I like that the defenses can score high, but I mean, 2 teams scoring over 60 is a little much.
Sure.
In the first 5 weeks of the season.
But
so there's still a lot of games left where that could still happen again, and that's kind of high.
Well, like I brought up, did you feel, I brought up last week that there's no episode here. Did you, the rules haven't changed from last year. And while we thought, like, dang, defensive scoring was high, I don't think there was this big of a discrepancy between how many points we're getting for these defenses versus how little some people are getting for these defenses.
Yeah.
Because nobody was over 60 last year. No one went over 60 points on defense last year. A handful of times, once or twice, we went over 50.
Yeah.
But twice so far we've gone over 60 this year. So, but the rules are the same. So is it just,
Well, it's 2 things. It's the injuries to the Jets,
right,
and the Dolphins.
The injuries to the Jets.
And the Dolphins.
And how terrible the Dolphins are.
And those are where the 60-point games came.
And
so
what
they're
division
so bad.
do those 2 teams play in?
The Patriots.
And so the Patriots get to play the 2 worst defenses, or worst offenses, worst teams.
To be fair, they play Miami in week 17, so you don't get those points.
Oh, wait, do they really?
Yeah. So.
Well, isn't their schedule for our playoffs still pretty good though? It's like
probably.
I want to say it's Bengals.
I think the Bengals were in there.
I want to say it's Redskins.
No, they already played the Redskins, didn't they? I think they already played the Redskins.
Maybe they did. Or maybe they play this week. No, they play Jets this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever their schedule is, we will go through it on here. But the Patriots have like a very favorable schedule with the 2 worst teams, in their division. Yeah. But I tend to agree that the points are like too high of scoring.
Yeah, they're a little too favored towards sacks. Honestly, right. Sacks and tackles for losses just add up so quickly.
No, that's true.
In games where one team has a terrible offensive line. That's all you got to do is find the team with a bad offensive line and go against them, and you'll get points.
It's just we have to reward good defenses more without rewarding things that are like too easily accumulated stat wise. Tackles for losses is one. Like you can just get a bunch of tackles for losses, but you can give up 50 points, but have 12 tackles for losses or something, and come away with an extra 12 points or whatever it is right now.
Yeah.
So I think there's adjustments to be made to nerf them, but you have a sleeper app going.
Yes.
That is just defenses. Why
It's
don't you
only
tell the
defenses.
folks at home about that?
Okay, well, the main things I did to that were I nerfed tackles for losses down to a quarter of a point, sacks to half a point, added in yardage to help balance out how well a team's doing, because sometimes if you're just going off scoring, that's not really
And that is very accurate.
of how
Sure.
well a defense is doing, because if the team's offense has a turnover on the first play and they have the ball on the 5-yard line and they hold them to a field goal, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be suffering as much as another team that just drove 80
Sure.
yards and kicked a field goal because of 2 drops.
Sure. Nope.
So
Nope. I think I would tend to agree with that. And if I'm not mistaken, we used last week's Patriots-Giants game as like a benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
And in our league, the Patriots scored 34, 36-ish points, somewhere around there. And the Giants defense scored 27, 24, 27?
it was over. Yeah, it was around 25-ish.
Okay, 25-ish. With your stuff, the Patriots defense, who is a good defense and who had a good defensive game,
33 or
scored
something?
33, so 3 points
It
less.
was close, but it was less.
But the other one was the Giants, who also gave up 35 points to the Patriots. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically there was 2 defensive scores, or a special team score and a defensive
Yeah.
score. But they only got 12 points with your scoring system.
Yes, yeah.
So it's much more.
You have to have a really good game. To
right.
hit
Well,
that
they
30
had
points.
they had a special teams touchdown
Exactly.
and a defensive touchdown, which is why you would get that amount of
Yeah,
points.
if your defense scores 2 touchdowns, it should get a lot of points.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go back and plug in all the defensive stats from like the really high games this year and see what yearly what the adjustments would have been. Like the 62.
Deal. I'm going to do that now.
Well, we're gonna do that. But let's get into this week's recap. We are recapping week 6. Some big surprises in this. Was there any big surprises? I'm kind of just talking without actually thinking about what I'm saying.
Why don't we just
Let's go to
let's
the
just
board.
go to the games?
Let's check it out. Let's first always look at my matchup because, well, it's my computer and I come in first and I'm logged in right now.
Yes.
I play Tim, which again, this is a time when in our league or our division where everyone was sort of tied.
Yes. Sort of. Everyone was exactly
everyone
tied.
Anyway, I won 160 to 127, but we'll just scroll up here and see the actual players and how they did since this week recap is on there. Okay, so listening, one of the things that I really listen to every week is the fantasy footballers. And they told me Kyler Murray was going to start being a better
Yeah,
quarterback.
they had some good stats on that.
They
that
did.
episode.
He's basically, what it was is, okay, I'm going to try and make us small again. Here we go. I'm tapping that. I'm tapping this
There.
for the A, and I'm tapping
There.
that. Dude, we're in the screen. What's up?
All right.
One of the stats that they had is basically Kyler Murray is underperforming in league average when it comes to converting touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah.
And it's like significantly below average. Like even average quarterbacks have a much higher rate.
Yeah.
That there was going to be some sort of regression back to the mean, or is it? Would you say for a negative too? Regression to the mean.
It works either way.
Okay. There'd be some sort of regression back to the mean where he would catch up with the league average again over enough sample size. This week was that week. I mean, granted, he played Atlanta, which is just a terrible secondary that you could just score on.
Yeah,
and everyone has been
second
scoring on.
worst in the league right now, I believe.
But I'm comfortable right now, even though he's a rookie, even though he's undersized, and he does have wheels. I think he only had 32 rushing yards. Yeah, he had 32 rushing yards. I think on 11 attempts too. I think he rushed 11 times for 32
Wow, that's
yards.
a lot of attempts. Should see my quarterbacks rushing yards.
But I think some of those were also like the stupid rush attempts that you get where you're scrambling out of the way.
Yeah, it's a scramble. A lot of times you get those.
But I'm comfortable for the rest of the year starting Kyler Murray. Am I stupid for that?
No. Even when he wasn't scoring touchdowns, he was still putting up decent numbers, playable numbers. So if the offense gets better, which it should because it just needs more chemistry, then he'll just start scoring more touchdowns and he'll be a fine play each week.
Well, as good of a game as Kyler Murray had, Russell Wilson had an equally as good a game.
Yes.
Julian Edelman did Julian Edelman stuff. Chris Godwin's done Chris Godwin stuff. And I'm a little worried about TJ Hawkinson right now.
Oh, he keeps dropping balls in the end zone.
I can't get points if you drop balls in the end zone, TJ.
That's where you need to get your points.
I don't get it. But regardless, Malcolm Brown this week was a bust, and he was a high quantity pickup because Todd Gurley obviously was injured for the week. So you thought Malcolm Brown was going to do something, but
no, I was afraid to play.
Beautiful San Francisco defense just shut you down. Now, this was the Niners' first real test, so I think they've proven that their defense actually is for real now, right?
Yeah.
Again, this was against, like, I know they haven't been great this year, but they're the same offense that went to the Super Bowl, last year. So, would you start benching current RB2s if they are going against the 49ers?
Yeah, I think you got to look at those matchups and be worried. I was worried about Cooper Kupp on my team, and that was a good worry to have.
It was a good worry, but I think you were in a position where you still had to play him, right?
With Devontae Adams injured, I still had to keep him in my lineup.
Tyler Boyd, who I believe has been having a good year, didn't have a very good day.
I don't think he's been.
He's
up and
downs, but he did have his lowest output of the season, which is unfortunate for him. And then defenses, you always look at the defenses because defenses are the highest scoring, things in our on our teams.
They are.
Washington was obviously, basically, if someone's playing Miami and that defense is on the waiver wire, you pick that team up, and it doesn't matter who you're playing, you play them.
Unless you have the New England Patriots.
Are they going to Ryan Fitzpatrick now?
Yeah, they did. They announced that today.
So that's going to be interesting. That means Kenny Drake's finally going to come through.
Doesn't matter. They used Ryan Fitzpatrick the first part of the year, and they're still terrible.
Yeah, but Fitzmagic takes some time to work, to get up to.
Not in Tampa Bay. That happened immediately.
And the Patriots got 36 against the Giants on Thursday Night Football. And I'm really, really liking that the Patriots' next game is against the Jets 12 days later on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So
long rest.
Well rested. Although they just suspended Michael Bennett, defensive end Michael Bennett, for a contract that's detrimental to the team. I guess he was arguing with one of the coaches. But,
I think they'll be fine.
There's the comparison. This was a bronze person versus a diamond person.
Well, a newly
minted diamond person, because I guess if you hit 900, you get the diamond status. So, yeah. Thanks for the plus 16, Tim.
He only lost 2.
That's true.
That's interesting.
I'm going to knock him down to, untiered, though.
Untiered?
He's going to be untiered. Now let's go to your game.
Okay.
Versus Braden.
I was worried.
You were worried, but we did pick you.
Yes.
And you did win. And you actually won pretty handily.
Yeah.
And this is actually not... Braden's he had a good team and he was making a comeback, but he really needed to win this game with Christian McCaffrey going into a bye this week, too. So he might have back-to-back losses this week. We'd have to look at our prediction segment. But
that's going to be tough for him this week without his star running back.
Carolina's defense.
Yeah.
Versus Green Bay.
No, Tampa Bay.
I'm sorry. Tampa Bay. I'm looking at his defense. I was looking at season when I said that.
I took them because they pressure the quarterback, and Jameis Winston makes a lot of mistakes. So.
Your point win percentage was basically the difference between your defensive points on this, which is extremely interesting. Chris Carson had a great game against Cleveland. Lamar Jackson has been having standard Lamar Jackson games, or at least whatever quarterbacks played against Cincinnati's had those great games. Aaron Rodgers actually had a good game on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Although Aaron Rodgers also got very lucky, because I don't know if you saw the highlights of that Detroit game or anything.
Oh yeah,
but there was terrible calls. Basically, Green Bay should not have been in
a
all.
position to make scores.
They should not have been in it at all. But
kept getting penalties,
short fields and extending drives with stupid penalties. Oh my God, who was it? I can't forget who it was, but called for 2 face mask calls that were not face mask. He literally had his hands on the guy's shoulder pad pushing him away, and they called face mask. And that extended. Those are 2 third downs where they would have knocked Aaron Rodgers off the field, because one of those resulted in a sack and one of those resulted in an incomplete pass. But that kept the drive going. So not very fair,
Yeah, it happens, Is
there anything Brady could have done against you?
Probably not.
Nope. Nothing would have mattered. He's got Christian McCaffrey on a bye this week. Christian McCaffrey. This is how you know defenses are like a little bit too crazy in scoring right now. Mm-hmm. But Christian McCaffrey is the highest scoring running back in the league. Mm-hmm. And that's still like a full 6 points behind the Patriots defense, which is the highest scoring entity of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and when you scroll through the top 20, there's a lot of defenses.
There's too many defenses. Although I don't mind. I don't mind there being a healthy mix of defenses / running backs, receivers, quarterback, whoever in the top 20.
I would like more balance. I would like to see a lot of positions up there and not just always running backs or always defense or always, it's just let's mix it up. Let's make everyone a little closer. So,
congratulations on your win this week.
Thank you.
I need you to also win again this week.
I also need me to win. Man, what a coincidence.
The 3-2 people won this week to stay alive in our division for the top standings.
Yeah.
And we're all pretty freaking close. We'll take a look at those standings in a second. But in case you can't see it because our graphics are in the way, 123-96 was Bailey over Cody. This
Bailey
was
win.
Yeah. It's, you don't like having to watch the Dolphins versus the Jets, but they play each other twice a year, and these guys will play each other twice a year. But someone had to win, right? So, I guess this week was actually the Dolphins versus the Redskins, and they were both over. Let's see. Carson Wentz, good game.
Well, Disley got injured.
Disley, oh my God, that sucks.
Achilles, yeah.
But you know who he has on the bench though?
Yeah, Waller.
He has Waller on the bench, so he should be
fine,
okay.
But it sucks for him.
It does suck. Well, it would have sucked more if he actually would have done the trade with me last week, because I would have acquired Waller in that trade, and then he would have been out of tight end.
Yeah.
But good, luck swings your way sometimes. We were wrong. We picked Cody to win this game.
Yep. And
Bailey ended up winning. We didn't think Cody would put up only 96 points.
Yeah. I didn't expect Derrick Henry to get a 3.8. That's really low.
Derrick Henry with the 3.8.
Aaron Jones with just 5 points.
Chark, who's been on fire, too.
I actually was expecting him to have a lower game
against New Orleans, though?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought, especially with the way Bridgewater's been playing, I would have thought that would have been a much higher game. Aaron Jones he had the one game. That's Aaron Jones, in case you didn't know.
He had a 35-yard touchdown pass he just dropped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that would have been another almost 10 points
in that
to your score.
Yeah, in the right part of the end zone. Yeah, the right corner of the end zone. Coleman had a good game.
Yeah.
Especially for not knowing who's going to get the majority of the touches on the Niners' backfield.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And everything else, yeah. It was just, it wasn't a high-scoring game. And Bailey probably would have lost to most other people in this league. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it's him.
That's what I meant. He would have tied this guy.
5, 6, 7.
So sometimes you get lucky with the schedule.
Yep.
Sometimes you get...
Take advantage of the schedule.
Yeah. So I hope I could give Cody a loss this week because I'm playing him this week. But I don't know. Could be tough. Could be tough. Let's move on to Michael versus Wayne.
Oh, wow. This is one-sided.
I think this was the biggest blowout of the year so far.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It was bigger than when Michael beat me in week 1.
In case you guys can't see here, I'll just go straight to this view right here. Yeah, same thing every time. Doesn't work. Yep. Cool. I give up. I can't. I can't. This is not working. It's on AV. Okay, so I just turned it off, and now I can do it. No, wait, what? Cool, we're going.
You did it.
88 to 1. That's all I wanted to show was 88 to 170. Now I'm going to have to figure out a way to get us back into that little box.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, you're going to have to do it eventually. Hey, we're back in the box. 88 to 170. Damn near 90-point blowout.
Yeah. That was a big blow.
It was huge. It was Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson basically cancel each other out.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Look at Denver versus Dallas.
Right. But yeah, dude, Denver versus Dallas, that's. I don't want to say it's just that, but you had Cooper do nothing, who had one reception.
He got hurt. He got hurt in the game.
You have Matt Brenda. Oh, man, we're not going to have that joke anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I give up. Last week, on one of my... you can say something. No, I want us solo.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Last week on one of the bottom graphic things that are down here, right there, I typed in Matt Breda, but it auto-corrected to Brenda. So we just kept calling him Matt Brenda the entire time. So that's what...
There you go.
That's
Inside jokes.
That's what I was talking about. There you go. Just so you know. Back to hey, look, I figured it out.
Good job.
Dallas, defense is just huge.
38 points right there.
And Wayne putting up 170 is also going to help his overall point total, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
But Wayne, congratulations. There wasn't much to say on that one. You
crushed.
Kicked the crap out of Michael.
Here we go.
Okay.
Now this was an interesting game.
This was an awesome game, and I was actually, I
was watching this
more than my game. I was watching this. Well, of course, because I don't need it, but I want Kendrick, to lose games so we can be. But it's really more important Wayne loses games.
I can just win your division.
I just want to win my division. That's all. But man, so in case you can't see it, it was 132.81 to 131.13.
Yes, very close.
A less than 2-point game. And here we go. They just kept matching each other, 18 to 17, 4 to 4. It was just.
Well, the big thing here is Melvin Gordon versus Mike Williams, because I believe Jason had a 1 or 2 point lead going into that game. So all he needed to do, Mike, is just outscore Mike Williams or keep pace with Mike Williams, and he lost just enough. Which is too bad because
you finally also got a great game from Devontae Freeman.
Yep.
And then defense. You know what? In these close games, I just think this should have been way higher.
Those seem like normal defensive scores to me.
Yes,
which in league I'm testing, you get more like that.
Right. Which is not good defensive scores.
Yeah, they're just terrible in our leagues.
Ooh, but there's still a chance.
Yeah.
Stat corrections are applied by Thursday, October 17th.
If Kenny is given a fumble or a couple forced fumbles here and there, it could drop his score, which would help out Jason.
That would be interesting.
Overtake it.
Well, Jason, you still have hope.
A little bit of hope left.
Yeah, a smidgen of hope. But yeah, this was a great game to watch. And look, even
very interesting.
Even their projections were right on point with each other. But is it panic mode for Jason now? Because you're 1-5.
Anyone who's 1-5 right now is panic mode. You need wins.
If he loses one more, is he done?
Pretty much.
Is he done now?
No, but it's actually it depends on his schedule. Because if he's beating people and jumping ahead of them from beating them, that's going to help. But if he keeps beating up on Cody and Bailey the rest of the time, it's not going to help as much because you'll still have the other people winning and you're not catching up to them.
That's true. I kind of want to go through that schedule tonight and take a look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. We just finished up our Week 6 recap. Now we're going to head into one of my favorite sections. But what section is it? Let's see what's next. Oh, it's the waiver wire. Let's go to the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Waiver wire headlines. Let's take a look here. I don't think there was a lot of movement this week at all. Let's start with the fab bids. And there was only one fab bidding war.
Yep.
And it's right there, so I'm not even going to click on the other thing. It was just Jamal Williams and
Bailey
me and Bailey again. Me and Bailey got beat again. Bailey, whatever you think is the correct thing, because I beat him by
500. Remember, that's how you get players.
That's how you get players. I beat him by $1 last week too.
Yeah.
For was it Murray?
I don't remember. If we can look down. Yeah, Murray.
Who put up 35 points for me this week.
Yeah.
So, man, if you weren't such a cheapskate, you would have had more points this week.
He still won, though, so... But he's at the point where he just needs W's, because... You got to catch up. It's not too late to catch up, but you can't lose anymore.
So that is a really good ad. I was really considering adding Robbie Anderson.
I was, but I really like all the receivers I have better than him. So
no, that's true. I know I do too. I actually like my receivers.
How come you went with Auden Tate instead of Robbie Anderson? Because he's playing.
New England. So Robbie Anderson is a good stash away right now, except for the next 2 weeks because it's New England and it's the
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's not that bad either. It's okay.
So, but after that, the Jets have a very favorable schedule.
Yes, they do.
So
lots of green.
Yeah, lots of green in their way. But I went with Auden Tate because right now, if John Ross isn't playing, which it looks like he's not, and AJ Green isn't coming back this week, and he's waiting one more week, it's just Auden Tate is the only one going to be getting targets.
Mm-hmm. Well, Boyd.
And sure, Boyd, but Boyd hasn't, lately, he hasn't been catching the ball.
He wasn't as big of an impact as he was last year. You got the Lizard Man. And
I got the Lizard Man, the new, she was the fantasy footballers.
I think they call him the Lizard King.
The actual Lizard King.
Alan Lazard.
The Lizard King. I finally dropped my $250 purchase of Wayne Gallman, which totally
did not pay off.
Jamison Crowder is actually a good pickup for Bailey, too.
Yeah.
Again, the New York Jets, they're not going to be doing crap this week or next week, but they have a favorable schedule down the line.
Going ahead, yeah. You got Jacksonville, who just lost their best cornerback.
Yeah, breaking news today was Jalen Ramsey was traded to the Rams. So
yep.
That was good. Now, we're going to go to our segment of who blew money that they didn't have to blow.
Me.
Well, hey, spoilers.
Everyone who spent money except for on Jamal Williams.
Bailey spent $21. Yeah, but some of it's more reasonable than others because you think people go after it, but sometimes they just don't.
Yeah.
So if you're spending like $5 or $6 here or whatever, Bailey spends $21 on Pittsburgh's defense, dropping Will Disley, who's out for the season. Wait, do we know for a fact he's on an IR?
He's out.
Okay. Because he had the Achilles. Yeah, you're
Achilles,
right.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was a great pickup for Bailey, also at $26. So 21 and 26. He's spending some money this week, but he also needs a win. So this is not a.
I spent 36 on Kirk Cousins because next week I have a bye for my quarterback. For my tight end.
That's a good call. That's another tip right there. Make sure you guys are looking 1 week ahead of time and getting your stuff 1 week ahead, so you don't have to overpay for it.
Don't do that. Just let me do that. You guys live in the present.
Then
he's going to be playing. Who was he playing?
Who?
Kirk Cousins. Click on that little yellow one. I picked him up because of who he was playing.
Detroit.
Washington. No, not this week. Next week. Washington.
Oh, next week. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, when I'm going to have to play him.
Ew, on a Thursday night game? You know how I feel about Thursday night games.
Yeah, well.
But he could still have but that's very typical of Kirk Cousins to have a 50-point game on a Thursday night game that you have little time to prepare for the people.
Jason Myers. There's the big waste.
Okay, so here's what I don't get, and I think I put it in the headline that Michael spends $55 on a kicker.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Waste of money.
You can get a kicker anywhere.
Michael,
they're all random. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Next time, call me. I would have sold you my kicker for $45.
The best kicker in the league got 1 point last week.
Kickers, they're just random.
So weird.
You can't, because it has to do with game script. Kickers get stuff through game script. That's it. Are you up? Did someone make a completed pass?
Do you have the ball right before halftime?
Exactly.
You make that final drive to get a 50-yard field goal?
Exactly.
No.
So it's kicker, there's no reason to ever spend money on kickers. That's like taking a kicker before the last pick of the draft.
You might as well just give him his money back. You're commissioner. You can do that.
That's true. Michael, I'll give you your money back. I'll split it with you. Jamal Williams, I have a lot of buys this week, so dropping Jimmy G.
He dropped his pass, so that's good.
Oh, wow, that hurts. Oh, I saw that too. That should have been a touchdown. How do you drop that?
Just drops.
Remember when he was with New Orleans? And
he was amazing.
And he was the best fantasy tight end to have.
He was the best tight end in the game for a while.
Yeah, it was him and Gronk for the longest time.
Yeah.
You suck, Jimmy Graham. Sorry. Subscribe.
Jared Cook, the final waiver.
And then Jared Cook. Chris Herndon, you dropped him.
Yeah.
Because he's out.
Oh, I looked at who he would be playing week 8 and
You're no, thank you.
No, I'm good.
But we did have a trade last week, kind of a meh trade. But Josh Gordon for MVS.
Yeah.
Michael acquires MVS. Jason acquires Josh Gordon because I think he had him last year. too at some point. I want to say he had him last year, and he has like a soft spot for Josh
I think
Gordon.
he did pay a lot of money for him after Rory dropped him.
Who would you rather have, MVS for the rest of the season or Josh Gordon the rest of the season?
Josh Gordon.
Now, N'Keal Harry's coming back eventually.
That's true.
Also, they're going to re-sign Antonio Brown probably. And Rob Gronkowski's coming out of retirement. So that team, that they went from like...
This hypothetical team is amazing.
They went from like a really, really probably amazing offense at the beginning of the year to like not a very good offense right now to, in my mind, the best offense in the league that the league's ever seen.
It's literally just going to be a tank running over people.
I mean, honestly, you could sign Antonio Brown again, right? Like, so the reports were only Robert Kraft was the one who wanted him gone.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick wanted him there. Tom Brady wanted him there. And he's still like in contact with them saying nice things. Well, I mean, like when I say in contact with Tom Brady saying nice things about him. I think if you're the Patriots, you're like, maybe I should just go pick him up and see what we can do with him. All right, are you ready for this week's matchups?
No, I'm not.
Let's take a look at our week.
Actually, you're not ready for these matchups.
No, I'm not ready at all. So this isn't my final roster, but let's just go and take a look at this right now because this is going to be pretty pathetic.
116. What a great prediction.
You know what? So actually, you know what we'll do right now?
Let's hope New England scores 80 points for you. And
no, because I'm going to have to hear like, oh, it's not fair.
It's not fair. We already know that.
I'll hear it from Cody. If New England scores 80 points, I'm going to turn around and trade New England to Cody for all of his players. Let's just look at the standings real quick.
Oh, that's a good call.
And we will take a look. I'm going to get rid of this week 7 prediction thing so we can see the entire stand. No, what? There we go.
There you go.
So we'll take a look at the entire standings. Right now, we have Wayne, who is the highest point getter at 912 points, and just slightly below that is me at 909 points. Kenny's in first place overall because he plays in a cupcake division. He's 5-1. He's 3-0 in his division.
I have the third highest score. Cool.
And you do have the third highest. I mean, does Michael have the fourth highest score? I mean, like
no, Kenny does.
Then Kenny and then Michael. No, and then Braden
and then Michael.
Okay. Well, there is kind of like in at least in our league, there's a big difference between the top point get. I mean, like 900. If you're plus 900, you're looking pretty good right now. Although that
if you're sub 800, you're it's a rough spot for you.
Yeah, I'm looking at Jason and I see a 1-5. So what does he have to get to? Who's in the 6th spot right now? Michael at 3-3. So he's 2 games back. 1-2 is in his division, and Michael's 1-2 in his division. Then you go to point spread or point most points for, and Michael obviously has a clear advantage in that, even though he scored crap.
A few good weeks could help. I mean, Michael his team is up and down lately.
No, it is. But the thing that says that to me is like the top 2 guys in our leagues in both divisions have all their fab budget. They haven't spent any fab yet.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but they're looking good right now. Kenny can keep cruising.
I think Wayne just wants to outdo himself this year and spend $1,000 on Leonard Fournette.
The one thing I'll say for Jason though is he does have waiver priority. So if you ever bid the same as Jason, Jason's gonna get him. Good for you, Jason.
Hold on to that waiver priority.
The waiver priority, which makes no difference in this league now anymore. But the other thing is, which also stands out to me, but maybe it's just because of a good draft. I like I already said, I love Wayne's draft.
Yeah.
But he's only made 9 moves this year. He's made under 10. Kenny's only made 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm also looking at, there's only been 762 points scored against Kenny, which is the lowest in the league.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have scored against Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And Ken's put up 4th most points so far.
A good amount.
So a good amount. But is Kenny's team as good as his 5-1 record?
Yeah, because the division he plays in is a lot weaker. So he should have a good record because you play your division rivals more.
He should have a good record because he's had the least amount of points scored against him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because his division
is garbage.
I mean...
Yeah. Well, but to be fair, he played me and beat me.
Yeah.
Not by a lot. But
he only lost once. I mean... He's beaten a lot of people.
Who did he lose to? Somebody outside the division.
Tim.
Wow.
When they both scored like 80 points.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
But okay. Well, if you had to make power rankings right now, who would your top 3 be for like teams that you don't want to face right now?
Probably Wayne, you, and Kenny.
Just the top 3 that's on there. Yeah, I would tend to agree with that.
I mean, you and Wayne have the points scored, and Kendrick curses people who play him.
Yeah, that's true. Kendrick just does. Highest game winning streak is you. Congratulations on the highest game.
I was 1 and 2. Now I'm 4 and 2.
You were 1 and 2. And then losing streak. Jason, keeping it going. Keeping it going. All right, let's take a look at this week's matchups, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Clock back in. We're running on 36 minutes right now.
36 minutes. Wow.
First matchup. I'm just going to go ahead and click over here to Cody because I just do not like my matchup.
You've got
week.
so many bye weeks.
It's just, I love my team, and I'm in a way, I'm kind of glad that I'm getting them all out of the way, like in one go.
One fell swoop.
But I mean, look, and I've also had already T.Y. Hilton on a bye last week, who could have helped a lot too in my last game. But I mean, obviously I didn't need him.
You got Auden Tate on your bench.
I got Auden Tate on my. I'm
sure you don't want to play him over Kenny Drake?
I probably will
against the Buffalo defense.
He's going against Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville's weaker than Buffalo.
Godwin, Connor, Smith-Schuster, all on bye for me.
Smith-Schuster with his 1 catch? Oh, my gosh.
Well, it has to go to somebody. It's got to go to somebody. God, yeah, I know. I mean, honestly, it's not like dud. You know what I mean? Like his points.
3 and a 1.2 for a second-round pick.
Sure,
pretty bad.
Is he living up to his expectations? No,
he doesn't have a quarterback
because he doesn't have a quarterback. Exactly, but he is getting Mason Rudolph back soon.
I think that will help. I think the connection will grow there.
But I mean, even in those games, 14's like an Edelman thing. These are Edelman numbers.
Yeah. If you look at his 2 duds, he had 4 targets in both those games. That's really low for your number 1 receiver to have. So.
And you're right. It is that is not something you want from your second round pick. But at this point, I don't see him as a second round pick anymore. I see him as my flex option in my flex spot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather have Edelman, T.Y. Hilton, or Chris Godwin as my receivers.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably T.Y. Hilton and Godwin as my 1 and 2, and then Edelman's obviously a great flex, and then Smith-Schuster's like a great flex too. He's not the number 2.
You got to look at he's kind of matchup based right now.
Yeah, he's also get his quarterback on the field base too. So I especially like Carson Wentz against Dallas in a dome too. Yeah. I think that's going to be a shootout game.
Yeah, Robert Woods against Atlanta, that should be good.
I don't. If I beat Cody this week, it is
Henry against the Chargers. They couldn't tackle at all last week.
I'm just glad after this I don't have to worry about buys anymore.
He's got San Francisco's defense too
against Washington.
Oh man, this is going to be a huge defense. Even if New England gives you 80, it might not help that much.
No, I don't think it will. I think 80 makes me lose by 10. I honestly, I'm probably going to put Auden Tate in. For Kenyon Drake.
I would.
Or maybe even I don't know.
Can we turn him into a tight end and put him in Hawkinson?
That's why I liked Jalen Samuels last year, because I was able to play him as a tight end spot as a running back.
Yeah. Against me.
Your game. Fighting Mongooses. You have any key guys on buys? Does Wayne?
No, I got buys coming up starting next week, and I got them pretty consistently for 4 weeks.
Look at that projection.
Yeah, it's gonna be
on a Wednesday.
It's gonna be a big week.
This will change too.
Oh, mine was 142 earlier today.
You're not playing Montgomery.
Nah.
Interesting.
New Orleans has had a good rush defense, so I'm benching him.
Deshaun Watson against Indy. I'm really hoping this is a high-scoring game for T.Y. Hilton's sake.
I'm not, for my sake.
I think Lamar Jackson runs a lot in this game.
Oh, look at what he ran for last week. It was 150 yards or something.
Was it
ridiculous?
Really? Whoops.
What did you do?
I don't think I did anything.
Say on that little...
Oh, someone called me.
Oh.
I think I click on the name. I'm good. Jackson. Nope, that's not it. Nope.
Never mind. Oh,
someone's trying to FaceTime me.
Okay, whatever. Let's move on.
Sure, yeah, let's move on.
He had a lot.
Sorry, that was all dead air now. I think you're going to win.
I do too.
I need to go back and click on your name later, but yes, I think you're going to win. Jason. Jason needs a win badly. Actually, they both do. I think if Jason wins this game, it doesn't really do anything for him. I think it puts Bailey right back in that thick of things as he wins this game at 3-4.
Yeah. Well, Jason needs to win a few games to get back into things. So.
Yeah, he does. Well, he honestly, if Bailey has Mac, McCoy, and
David
Johnson.
And Austin Eckler
And he's got Nick Chubb on
Chubb.
bye. Oh, man, that's bad for her. See, here's the thing is, I think if Jason wins this, it kind of just locks up some playoff spots for it just makes him, like Bailey has to win to have anything. Sorry, Jason. I actually do think you're going to win. And
I agree.
And I think because of your win, now only 2 people are fighting for that last playoff spot, or 3 people are. But man, theoretically, Dak Prescott's had crazy games this year. Tyreek Hill is being
Philly,
super targeted.
I think that should be good. Brandon Cooks against Atlanta.
Yeah,
Atlanta's
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell against New England.
Le'Veon Bell, he played New England before, and he still put up double digits.
Sure.
So he's not a bad play.
Austin Hooper. Devontae Freeman had a good game last week, but it's playing the Rams.
This time might be a bit tougher.
Allen Robinson against New Orleans. I kind of like that matchup.
Yep.
And Baltimore against Seattle. I mean, whatever. It's fine. It's a rainy game, so maybe there's not as much offense in that game.
Baltimore's defense isn't all that great.
I look at his roster and I'm like, this is like a good roster. He's just not winning games.
Yeah. Well, he lost by less than 2 points last week, so I mean.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It happens sometimes.
All right, well, Jason, I've got your back this week.
We got you
think
going,
you're going to win.
It's your first step towards getting into the playoffs.
Getting into the playoffs.
This game.
What a, yeah. And when you lose, if you want to sell off the pieces of your team, I'm more than happy to buy.
Yeah. I'll give you some fab for some reason. Spend it on garbage players.
Michael versus Tim. Damn, look at Michael's projections.
Almost as high as mine.
Almost as high as yours. Again, Tim's in our division. Michael's in our division.
Mm-hmm.
They're both 3-3, so someone's got to win. I'm going to go ahead and go with Michael this week. He kind of needs a win after the pounding he took last week.
I got MVS.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Well, we'll see if that trade helps him out this week.
If Barkley comes back against Arizona, that could be big for him.
Who has a better game, Josh Gordon against Detroit or Valdez-Scantling against Oakland?
Wait.
I don't even know if
Gordon against Detroit?
Josh Gordon against the Jets.
Jets.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
New York.
Not playing, yeah.
No, I said Detroit.
Yeah. I think Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon better. I just do.
No, I do too. I think you're right.
MVS has given a lot of shots to succeed this year.
This game's really going to come down to the kickers.
Yep, it always does. But he paid $55 for his kicker. So.
You know what's really going to come down to is how Los Angeles does against Atlanta and how Jacksonville does against Cincy.
Cincy. Ooh, good pickup.
That is such a great matchup.
That's a good pickup, Tim.
Like, does y'all really pay attention to the points in our league?
No.
Like the way we score stuff?
No, I don't know.
There's no way they only get 8. They should be projected at 25.
Yeah.
And Los Angeles should be like projected at 22. Like that should be a great freaking game.
Yeah.
But we pick Michael. Sorry, Tim.
And Kendrick's game.
And finally, Kenny's game.
Kenny.
Can Kenny dominate in this game?
Yes, because he's going to curse Braden.
Yeah, he is. That's true. All right, Kenny.
That's what I did last year. I just made all my opponents do terrible against me.
I really want you to win this week. But here's the problem: is like if you win this week, I'm probably going to lose this week, which means you jump me in the standings.
Then I'm just sitting on top of the league.
And Wayne's goes ahead of me in the standings anyway because he has the tiebreaker against me. Because we're both going to lose then if things go my way.
Well, if you lose, you'll have the same division record, I think.
Yeah, but Wayne beat me, so
gotcha.
he'll still be right ahead of me.
Yeah.
He won the head-to-head matchup until I play him again next week, 2 weeks, something like that. Kenny. Brady against the Jets. That again, New England is all about winning games, so Brady could mean they throw a lot, or that could mean they run a lot.
He rushed in touchdowns last week, so he's a running back now. Running quarterback, Tom Brady.
Those easily could have been Sony Michel touchdowns. And
been.
honestly, with the 42-year-old quarterback, you should have probably handed the ball to Sony Michel. But I think
did they just not trust him or what? I don't get it.
I think Bill Belichick wants Brady to get hurt so he can go to another quarterback finally. But I mean, Brady could have a good game. I don't know. Yeah. The Patriots matchup wise, they just do something different every time. So yeah, it could be a good game for Brady, which means that I hope it is a good game for Brady. I hope Brady throws 3 touchdowns to Julian Edelman. Julio Jones completely underutilized this year. Really interesting.
Well, it's just that offensive line. They don't have enough time to let plays develop.
I like the matchup of Golden Tate.
Oh, that's going to be juicy.
That's a juicy matchup. AJ Green, if he comes back this week, which is still a big if. Let's take a look here.
Is he practicing?
Green was limited at practice last week, but it remains unclear if he'll actually return. Zach Taylor also says he needs to see Green at 100% before making a decision if his availability with no
was sidelined for practice right there. Jay Green ankle was sidelined for Wednesday's practice.
That's not a big deal at this point in the week. If he doesn't make Friday's practice, or he's limited in Friday's practice, then I say he's not playing.
That's not a great sign, though. He's still not practicing.
No, right, it is. But that could also be precautionary.
Yeah.
But my guess is that if he was sidelined in practice for this week, he is not going to play, at least fully practice. If you're sidelined in practice, you're basically not playing the next day, or you'll be limited in practice. And if he practices in full on Friday, he's playing. If he's limited in practice or sidelined on Friday, he's not playing.
Probably not. Yeah.
My guess is that they come back against the Rams. I don't think they go back against Jacksonville. He comes back against the Rams and then has a bye week to recover after getting a game of experience in that week.
Like a practice game.
And I hope that happens.
You think he's going to be under limited fashion against the Rams? Or
yes. I think he'll be on a snap count too, honestly.
Gotcha.
Which bodes well for my Auden Tate pickup. But
for a couple weeks.
For a couple weeks. But I only need him I just need to get through this Chris Godwin bye and this Poo-Poo Smith-Schuster bye.
Poo-Poo Smith-Dumpster.
Poo-Poo Smith-Dumpster. Or Jared Goffel. I listen to all the puns on Fantasy Footballers. I'm going to do a pun section next week where you just listen to all the puns for the week. But that's it. Is that our last game?
That's the last game.
That's the last game.
We're done.
We're done. Just no. Come on. You can do this. Just go away.
What are you trying to do?
I'm going to get rid of that and make us go here.
There you go.
Now we're full screen. We did it. We figured it out. That was it. Week 7. Are you looking forward to week 7?
I'm looking forward to week 8.
I want to know what our fab analysis is. Can we do a fab analysis update next week?
Yeah.
I want to know who's the most efficient with their fab. I want to know if...
Just open it up. It's on... Actually, I didn't update it this week, so...
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you got more work to do then. Well, it's not like you're waiting until the end of the season.
I was waiting until Monday night to do it, and then I just haven't got to it yet. I'll get to it soon.
I just want to know how bad Wayne Gallman's 18 points for $255 affected my budget. But then also, I try to counteract that with $1 James Winston, $1 bids. Get back to it.
Get points for less money.
All right, well, that's our show for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We got a little stale there in the middle. Because,
Sorry.
Nah, it's been a long day. I've been building a lot of Christmas frames. But I'm Kevin. Nope, I'm Kyle.
Almost there. I'm Kevin.
God damn it, play us out. We're out of here. Bye.
Yes, God. Do.
Do.